I'm Brian Estes. I'm a Senior Principal Management Auditor in the King County Auditor's Office located in Seattle, Washington. Yes, one do is to stick to what I call the 3 C's of report writing. The narrative should be concise, convincing, and coherent. The thing I wouldn't suggest that people do is to write a report which is simply a data dump of all the issues you encountered when conducting the audit. I suggest you develop a strong audit report message and only provide enough facts, data, and information to support your conclusions and recommendations. And another don't would be to don't include sweeping generalizations or findings that are not adequately supported by facts and data.
Sure. This is Edwin Young, and I'm the City Auditor for the City and County of Honolulu, and we send you warm greetings from Hawaii. Communicating the audit results, I think, is the most difficult part of the audit. One of the things that we've learned in the course of writing reports and in looking at the many submissions for the NITIN Awards was that passive voice reports tend to be too wordy. If it's too technical, it goes beyond the comprehension of the reader. And if the person tries to write like as if it's a PhD dissertation, the reader will basically drop the report within the first few minutes. I think everyone should do some judging because I learned a lot. I learned what makes a good report and a social report, what to include, what to exclude, and what format to use.
Jason Hadavi, Assistant City Auditor, Office of the City Auditor in Austin, Texas. That one was a really interesting one, and frankly, I found that report to just be flat out awesome. I loved that report from the very first read. All in all, it was a great audit. They had some really gutsy recommendations. They really put themselves out there that I thought got to the heart of accountability and transparency in government. And then they did a great job at documenting all of that work in a clear and concise fashion in their report. Auditors should really focus on writing a report that represents conclusions drawn from their audit work rather than just presenting all of the details during an audit. Don't add pictures, graphs, or charts just for the heck of it.
My name is Brian Evans. I'm a Senior Management Auditor at Metro in Portland, Oregon, and I've been on Knight & Judge 2 years, 2009 and 2010 for the medium shop category. I think another thing that is often sometimes difficult for readers is when the audit report is structured almost in alignment with the fieldwork plan. And so you can see the audit objective as a paragraph header, and then all the information that's related to that audit objective is distilled in some sort of written form there. It makes logical sense, I know, from the auditor's perspective, but I think from a reader, it kind of is asking a lot. You have 4 objectives and you list them out 1 through 4. It's hard to know which one to take away or which one is significant or which of the 4 is contributing to your overall conclusion. For me, it's always a matter of kind of making your argument as soon as possible. So I'm a big proponent of kind of stating your conclusion as in the first paragraph of the audit.
I'm Sharon Walker. I'm the City Auditor for the City of Scottsdale. What I've seen in the judging experience that I've had is that local government auditors are really doing high quality, meaningful work. You have to be careful not to let your report become an audit work paper, and you don't want to try to convey everything that you've done. You really want to focus on communicating the results. Everybody else's desk is stacked with reports and things that they need to read just the same as your own desk is. And so try to make your report easy to read, concise, clear, on message, so that it does get picked up off of that stack of things that are awaiting attention. If you don't ever refer to the graphic, you probably don't need to have it in there.
It's Michael Westfall, Director of Internal Audit for Chesterfield County, Virginia. I have a better appreciation, I guess, for the breadth and depth of audit knowledge and experience across the country, and I guess really their passion and their pride in the work that they do. One of the first dues, obviously, and it is one of the criteria, is to be thorough and convincing but concise. I know we looked at one report. It had 12 pages of narrative before you got to the first finding, and that's not an easy read. don't focus on areas of less significance or try to exaggerate, or create findings where maybe the issues aren't that material. But those reports that aren't balanced, you usually can tell in a management response. You're skeptical that significant action is going to be taken. You can kind of just.
The Metro Large Contracts Audit won the Knight and Gold for Small Shop for 2011. Do you remember what tipped the scales for the judges to select this report?
There were really several things, I guess. I went back through the notes. As I said, I actually drafted the narrative for this audit that was, used in, I guess, the ALGA conference and so forth. But there were a number of things that folks pointed out. I guess, one of the big ones was there was the potential for a significant impact as they focused on 3 long-term contracts totaling about $130 million. So obviously any improvements could have not only significant financial impact, but also, an impact over a long period of time. And then there was significant public interest as well. There was, a fair amount of news coverage. So obviously they were addressing an issue that was important, to the citizens of that region. The conclusions were well supported. They, used the innovative techniques. They used some secret shoppers. They developed, a lot of data wasn't available, so they developed schedules and performance measures. Basically developed some criteria that wasn't available to help them overcome the lack of data. And then, for whatever it's worth, one member stated that the report format was beautiful. You don't usually hear too many auditors talking like that, but it was just the format and the presentation obviously added to it as well.
We ranked the 40 largest cities in the U.S. based on walkability. Well, San Francisco came in number 1 in this ranking. It's a very walkable city, in part because it's constrained by water on 3 sides. So there's a dense urban fabric there. You find that even in the least walkable cities, there are pockets of walkability, and we call these walking oasis.